Welcome to episode 3 of the Expert Walkthrough for Demon Souls, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD, and here we are. Just two slayers of demons trapped in soul form. Nothing to see here, right? So, the Archstone of the Covetous King is the first Archstone that we have done. We covered the first half of it in yesterday's episode, and we actually left off here in the Nexus because there's a couple things we want to do real quick.
Hello again. I'm keeping a close watch on your belongings, don't you worry.
Alright, so we've been picking up quite a bit of stuff while fighting our way through the Bolitarian Castle. Some of this stuff we don't want to carry on us, because you do have an item burden in this game. You can see it up there. Ours is 86. We are at 50 out of 86, which doesn't seem too full, but it'll fill up pretty quick, because we still have plenty of stuff we need to continue picking up. I'm going to put away, pretty much all of this stuff, because we're not going to use any of those things. The Winged Spear is a good drop, and I'll consider upgrading that and using it, but this definitely needs to go. This thing weighs, 4.6, yeah, that's a heavy helmet. We're not going to wear this outfit, so we can put all of that away. And you can consider this like the maintenance for this game, I suppose. Which is what I call it in Elden Ring, at least. But let's look at our consumables. We are not going to need late moon grass. It heals quite a bit, and we certainly don't need full moon grass. We'll keep that. This is directly involved with Thomas, so we're going to keep this. He's going to ask us for it soon. And then as for everything else, we can keep, because the rest of this stuff doesn't weigh very much at all.
When the Scourge came, I abandoned my wife and daughter and fled like a coward. When I came to, I was in this next. I wish I could do more.
Okay, pretty sure he already said that.
My candle maiden cared for me. She says very little, but has a kind heart. She's just the age my young daughter would have been. Poor girl. Trapped here with her eyes occluded by wax. If only something could be done to help her. If only something could be done to help her. You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
The iconic line with a stronger sort of Scottish twang to it this time around.
That ornament. That belongs to my daughter. Then she didn't make it after all. My dearest little baby. May she rest in peace. May I ask a favor? Would you mind giving me that hair ornament? I'd like to have it in memory of my daughter.
So we can assume that those bodies we found hanging from the chains that we loosed on our way down from that first shortcut probably were his wife and daughter. So, yeah, man, I found your kid hanging by her feet by a giant chain from the very walls of Bolitaria. But you can have it.
You're a saint. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mustn't forget. It's not much, but please accept this as thanks. I found it discarded on the main road. It might look ordinary, but it seems to possess a strange power. Anyway, I feel that you should have it. It'll be happier in your hands.
The Ring of Herculean Strength he gives us, and it's kind of freaky. He says, it will be happier in your hands, as in the ring has a will of its own. What kind of ring is this, man? Were all of them deceived? Was another ring made? So this raises item carry capacity. It's funny that Stockpile Thomas, with all of his stuff, should mention that he found this ring and that it has a strange power, because the ring clearly gave him the ability to carry all of this shit back to the Nexus. Kind of crazy. But yes, this is a good ring. It will increase your item carrying capacity. So your equip burden and your item burden are different things. But what this will do is it will take our item burden from 86 up to 129. There's going to be one particular level in this game where we pick up a ton of upgrade stones, and that item, this ring, is going to be pretty much required during that part to get all that stuff back with us. But for now, we're going to keep the cling ring on because we are in soul form. Let's talk to this guy now.
Oh, good day to you. I can forge weapons for you.
For a fair price, yes, I hear. So, weapons and equipment have durability in this game. You can repair all, which is probably what I recommend you do, because as you use your weapons and as you get hit by enemies in this game, your equipment loses durability. I'm going to go ahead and repair this stuff. And then at one point, once we're able to, we are going to buy that guy.
Do come back alive. I need your business.
Okay, so he seems slightly more friendly after that, right?
You came for demons?
Nah, yeah, whatever. Time to go back to the gates of Boletaria. So we have pushed forward one NPC questline, being Stockpile Thomas. And that guy has our stuff. We gotta protect him at all costs. So, very interesting that the counter damage works the way it does, because 44 a hit versus 30, yeah, counter damage. It's pretty useful. So I want to point something really cool out here. Let's clean up this other guy. Well, usually you can hit him right through that thing, but maybe not that time. Check this out. This little side area, there's nothing we can do to access it, because in order to get... And I know what you're thinking, right? This wall is like... I swear, even somebody who isn't physically fit could get over this damn wall to get over there, but no, we are being bound and held by world tendency, this feature that is all about karma and how much you die and what form you're in, right? And how you talk to who and what you do for them and all that. So I'm going to do a deep dive into world tendency a little bit later on, because it doesn't do us any good to talk about that right now. But this little side area over here can only be accessed with pure white or pure black world tendency in Boletaria. So that there is the redone crystal lizard, or crystal gecko. It was particularly in Demon Souls, but they look very different in this game. I think they look really cool. He's covered in blue stones, and there's like a pink stone all the way down towards his tail. They are significantly easier to catch and kill in this game. They are weak to thrust damage, so I would recommend using a thrust weapon when you're chasing lizards in this game, but it's not going to be a problem for us because I do most of my lizard hunting with a bow in Demon Souls. So 30 damage isn't very much, but we can take advantage of the fact that these guys attack pretty often. They hit a lot, right? And we can get counter damage because of that. Easy peasy. Or you can just walk around them, get a backstab, easy. Use the iframes of the backstab, finish them off. Well, meant to roll the other way, but it's all good. Let's top ourselves off. This guy, wait for him to attack. More fire bombs, thank you. And then now we're going to use the shortcut that we unlocked. More fire bombs, hell yeah. So, using the shortcut that we unlocked is not as easy as it seems. We really are going to have to be careful the way we do this. So what I recommend you do is, without making a bunch of noise, kind of like work your way in here. Use a firebomb. Take care of those guys like that. And then once you get rid of those first two guys, I say pull them out here. Oops. Use your magic. Because those guys, once they start attacking you and doing the flurry and all that, it's a bad time. It really is. So you don't have to cheese them with magic. I mean, you can still take them down relatively easily with your regular weapon. But the fire that they have... Got another mail breaker. The fire that they have is dangerous. It's really dangerous. So I would recommend using whatever means you have to get rid of them as easily and safely as possible. Because I'm telling you what, if you unlock the shortcut and you die somewhere up there and you're trying to get back, running through those guys and losing your souls is going to suck. Let's see if the chains are re-intact. They're not. Okay. We know this guy is going to be coming after us. And it's okay for us to be resource intensive with our magic because we have the ring that completely refills it over time. And it's much safer for us to cheese these guys with the magic on the way up because, again, we're on these steps, so we could fall and die. Plenty of bad things can happen in this scenario. So let's just hope they don't. If you're nice and quiet, you can get a backstab on that guy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go down the path that was also available to us while we were up here, which is going to be this fall gate. No chance. So once we start working our way through here, we are going to meet another really cool NPC. A guy that's going to follow us through the whole game. There's two ways you can go through here. You can either run through there, or you can hop over the ledge. I urge you to hop over the ledge, because I'm going to show you what happens if you try to run through here. This guy's going to see you, and he's going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and kill him because we already know that he's going to be here once we come back through this way. Because it's going to make more sense for us to get back to this point from down there because all those guys are going to have their backs to us. It's going to be great. So let's go ahead and hop down. Pick up this ring first, the thief ring. This ring is fantastic. Become harder for enemies to detect. This will cancel out your footsteps. It'll make you almost completely silent, and it decreases the aggro range of enemies for you.
That was a bold leap, a surprise indeed. Well, now that you are here, pray thee, fend off these Dreglings. That was a bold leap. Well, now...
Alright, so this is Knight Estrava. He's got the fluted armor set with the iron helm that we picked up, and he's got the rune sword and rune shield. Very good combination. Makes you quite impenetrable to most magic attacks. You can actually see that faint golden glow around him. That is a byproduct of the sword and shield, protecting him from magic. We have a similar effect, but it's from our fragrant ring. That's why we kind of glow blue. But these guys down here all have fire on their weapons. You can try to hit the barrels with fire bombs and whatever, but hello? We're the royalty. Let's just clean up. Yeah, we have more than enough mana for this, so nothing wrong with just cleaning house. That guy's kind of hard to hit, so it doesn't matter. Ostrava is going to drop down automatically as soon as you finish off the last Dregling. So let's get down here and finish the job. Pick up some of these items down here. We got another soul item. A Dregling shield. Good for us.
My thanks for your brave rescue. I am Ostrava of Boletaria. Accept this as a token of my gratitude.
The brass telescope. So now we can look at stuff and be all fancy.
Now I take my leave. There is something I must do. No matter how far I venture, only the soul-starved remain. Is there a single sane person left in Boletaria? No matter how...
Alright. So, these guys are going to come out here, But trust me when I say Estrava can handle himself. He's pretty strong. Now we're going to help him because he's not... he might be super durable, but he's not exactly the textbook definition tough guy. He's going to get wiped by this guy with a claymore. I mean, he has way more health and defense than this Blue Eye Knight with a claymore, but the problem is, I mean, he broke his guard in one hit. You see that? So this guy with a claymore is pretty dangerous. It is definitely a good thing to have Estrava with you when you go to fight that guy, because 1 or 2 hits from that guy will do you in, especially if you are playing as the royalty in soul form. So now what I want to do is I want to run in through here and just grab this item, and we're going to kind of tail Estrava, see where he goes. The Scimitar. So this is a dexterity-based curved sword, and it causes bleed buildup. 120, as a matter of fact. This would be fine for us to switch to because we have the strength, the stats for it. We have at least 8 strength, right? 9, okay. And then you need 10 dexterity, which we have 12 of. So we could switch to this, and it'd be fine. It also causes bleed, so... Estrava went this way. He's going to sit through here and just kind of clean up these Dreglings. There's nothing wrong with that. We're going to let him do his thing. He sounds very stressed out as he fights them. Come on, man. And he somehow dodges the crossbow. That's pretty cool. So we're going to go the opposite way, actually. We're going to go through here. There's an item that we want to pick up off to the left. And then we're also going to be super sneaky and backstab this guy that's not paying attention. We're going to have Dreglings out here. You can see them. Oh, hi. You weren't supposed to hear me. You see that? He's taking very tiny damage over time. That's the bleed effect of this weapon. Bleed is very different in Demon Souls. It's more like poison. As a matter of fact, it's exactly like poison. There's just no, like, green cloud or poison effect. It's bleed in this game, instead of being like a percentage-based chunk of the opponent's health gone, it's like a damage over time, as in they are actively bleeding instead of blood loss. So attacking these will get the attention of these Dreglings, and they're going to break through this stuff to get to you. So we can still kill these guys in just a couple of hits with this curved sword, which is nice. This is a relatively quick weapon. It can make pretty short work of these guys. Doesn't hit quite as fast as our rapier, but it's still a really nice weapon, and it's better for us than the rapier right now. Because these guys that we're facing right now currently, look at him still having a hard time with all those dudes. We better go back and help. But the curved sword that we're using, it does slash damage instead of thrust damage like the rapier does. And slash damage is significantly more effective against the enemies in this portion of the game. Because the base damage that we do is not hardly any higher. But because they are weaker to the damage type, it does a lot better for us. Now, you need to be careful with stuff like this because, unfortunately, out here in the world, you can accidentally hit these NPCs. And we don't want to attack Ostrava. I like how he waited for us to come over here before he finally grew the balls to kill that guy. But I didn't want to miss this soul item. There's also going to be some upgrade stones down here that we want to use. I would recommend clearing this spot out, like, quickly, because once Estrava goes down there to start fighting these guys, he will be susceptible to the explosions, and you don't want to blow him to pieces. Well, missed completely. That's okay. I'm going to cheese that guy because there's dudes waiting over here that are going to be ready for our blood. Oops. Pardon the sloppiness, I'm still in Elden Ring mode. Switching back and forth between this game and Elden Ring is something I could get used to, though, because both are fantastic, both have different things to appreciate, and both are completely different journeys. Yeah, I did most of the work up here, boss.
No matter how...
So let's get back to where we were. And picking up the, right down below here, check that out. You can actually jump over, if it makes more sense. Nothing wrong with that. Picking up those hardstone and sharpstone shards is a great idea, by the way, because upgrade materials in this game are not rare. They're not hard to obtain. Plenty of different enemies that you fight drop them upon death, or at least have a chance to, and they can also be purchased. But you want to pick up every single one that you can find, because upgrading weapons in this game is incredibly important. And then fighting your way up here, I recommend this because there are going to be guys shooting at you if you try to go down through that passage. So for this part's a little bit tricky. There's that guy, and then you also have Blue Knight guy up there. So what I'm going to try to do, you can hear him breathing too. So I can't lock onto that guy, which is unfortunate. But what I'm going to do, so I'm going to get this Blue-Eye Knight's attention. We'll pull him down here. Where are you at, man? That's it. So let's get him down here where the crossbow guy can't hit us. Come on. Different kind of parry. Still cool. And now we are free to take care of the crossbow guy up here without having to deal with the badass chasing us down. So best way to deal with this guy, because you don't want him to fall, you want him to die, right? I'm just going to hit him with my strongest attack. And then from here, you get a peek of what's coming. These two guys with the axes, once you walk a certain distance out onto that stone walkway there, they are going to drop down and ambush you. So we're actually going to run back that way instead of going through the fog gate here, because it's going to loop us around. Once we go through here, we're going to be in the exact same spot that we started in when we were approaching Estrava, when we were given a choice of which way we wanted to go, but we're also going to find an important merchant. Come on, boys. Ow, that hurt. Why would you turn your back on me? Are you dumb? Ooh. And then as you can see, we have another guy right here. So that dude with the polearm is kind of dangerous. You really got to be careful with that guy. What I recommend you do is you can wear the thief ring and not have to worry about sneaking, or you can just go really slow. Take your time here. Don't run, just walk. He won't hear you. Get a free backstab and finish him off before the guy with the sword comes around the corner. Dang, man. And then that is the room where the firebomb thrower would have been, had we not killed him. So we already took care of the guy in this room, and here we are. We're back up to the top, where we could have dropped down to talk to Ostrava. That's why it pays to go the other way, because it's much easier to fight your way through after saving Ostrava, versus going this way. But if you go through here, break some of these
care to look over my wares? Mostly stolen, but who's telling eh?
Not me, if the price is good. So this, the longsword. This is one of the best weapons in the game. It's a base weapon that you get if you start with the Knight class, but the moveset of this weapon is very, very good in this game. It is probably the best starting weapon you can get from any class, which is why a lot of people choose the Knight when they play this game. I don't think I'm going to buy it yet, but it's good. It's real good. And then the club, this is pretty useful if you want to fight the enemies that are weak to strike damage, but the problem is this is a strength scaling weapon and we are dexterity. This guy is strength and dexterity scaling. This is a quality weapon, the longsword is, but the reason it's so good is because it has 2 damage types. You can do regular damage and you can do pierce damage right here. Wooden bolts are a good thing to buy from this guy because if you intend to use the crossbow, which I don't think I will, I think I'd rather use a bow, this is a great place to buy them. And then he also sells the plated armor, which is what you would start with if you were playing as the soldier class, I believe. And then he also sells more grass. Don't know why you would ever need to buy it because you pick up so much of it across the level. He sells fire bombs, but they are very expensive. Soldier's Lotus is going to be your consumable for curing the bleed effect. Again, we won't need it because nothing here causes bleed. We're not going to run into bleed for quite a bit, but this is where you can buy it should you need it.
Brave knight or lowly fodder, the demons snatched their souls regardless of their station, plummeting them all into madness. And those who dare cling to their humanity were hunted down. It is the end of Great Boletaria as we know it. But hell, at least the demons don't send us to our deaths in battle. There's this skinny fellow, clad in the most lavish armor, who's always mumbling about some mission. He's another one who's managed to stay sane, like yourself. Probably some pampered little lordling by the looks of his attire. I'd give an arm just for the buttons off his shirt.
Sounds like he's talking about Estrava.
Go ahead. Take your time. I'm not going anywhere.
That's a lie. Once we beat the boss, he does move. His next location is not necessarily difficult to get to. It's his 3rd location that's a pain in the ass. But, alright. Now that we've done that, it's time to backtrack just a little bit. We're going to run back up these rafters here. And we're going to face our first excursion with the dragons. Very cool scenery going through here. Look at the colors. And then look at that all the way over in the distance. You can see the actual capital, the royal castle. Pretty sure that tower up there is where the final boss is. So this right here. This is not very obvious. As a matter of fact, most people are not going to catch this, but what you want to do right here is you want to use your brain. There's dragon number 1. Use your camera. You see all these guys? We don't have to deal with them. Why should we if we don't have to? Let's use our brains. Come on. So the rocks do all the work for us. And now all we have to do is collect. And no, don't worry. You don't have to fight the dragons. This will be our first time dealing with them. What's that? Oh, okay. An item that was... He was glitched downward, I guess. I didn't see the glow. But you don't have to fight the dragons. We just have to avoid them. You're going to have 2 guys with spears and shields for this part. Super annoying. There they are. So what I want to do... Get a free hit on that guy. Finish him off. The next one, strafe around and backstab. That's how you deal with those clowns. Nothing through here. And if you go further, you'll start dealing with your first dragon fire-breathing down the bridge sort of gimmick that is existent in many Souls games at this point. This was the game that introduced it, though. And when we run through here, we're going to be greeted by something pretty dangerous and overwhelming. Yep. 2 dragons. You have Blue Dragon, which is significantly more powerful. I think that's the female. And we're not going to have to worry about that one for a while. This red one, though, we are going to have to deal with right now. As soon as you run forward through that part that I pointed out before, like going straight down the path to the next bridge, that dragon is going to light that bridge up constantly until you move away from the bridge and de-aggro. So, you see all these goodies, though? We want to get these items, and that is going to be our main focus for the next episode. But this is as good a place as any to stop. In the next episode, we are going to finish Boletaria. I thought for sure I'd make it to the boss in this part, but I want to be as thorough as I can in this walkthrough, and I want to make sure that I show everything and explain things to the best of my ability to help you guys. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. In episode 4, we will definitely get to the boss, I promise, and I'll show you how to get all these items being guarded by the dragons. So, thanks again for joining me on the Expert Walkthrough for Demon's Souls. I've been your faithful host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.